it was a great event on Wednesday, and I know it's driven by the guys from 9 to noon with Kuhn and Billy and Armin, and kudos to those guys. We were able to throw out the first pitch with those two guys. It was a special day, and the Brewers won the game and everything else, and so a lot of stuff going on. Yeah. Summerfest is into weekend 2.
Yep.
If I seem a step slow this morning, dude, I'm worn out. Okay? I am worn out. I am physically worn out from Nooner Day. I am worn out from Summerfest.
Yeah.
I was telling you before we started the show today. Oh, by the way, if anyone's listening going, so where is Wags? He's running late today. We're going to have an interview coming up with the guys from Bunzel's in just a minute to talk about some great grilling ideas going into the weekend. But, so where was a show last week? Yeah. Well, here was the thing. We hit it so hard after taping 150 that we just went, you know what?
We needed a break.
That's what it was. Yeah.
That happens sometimes.
Yeah. So we put 150 in the can and we're like, okay, we need a break.
Well, and isn't it amazing, too? I feel like we were just talking about Memorial Day grilling. Mm-hmm. Then we've got the big 150 show that we were teasing for a while. Yep. Now here we are. It's the 4th of July week already. Mm-hmm. It's like, where is this year going?
It's crazy. It is crazy. But by the way, one of the reasons why I'm stressed, and this is going to be a short segment because we want to check in with our buddy from Bunzel's here in a minute. I'm stressed out from moving trailers. If this makes sense.
It's kind of funny because we were talking, and I'm like, so is it like the boat ramp? And you went into this long story about
I'm like,
it.
No, here's the deal, okay? In the wisdom of iHeart, a company that pays me reasonably well, that I love working for, have had a long career with. So they hire 2 great guys to be our engineers, right? Mm-hmm. 2 just Michael and John are just great guys. Keep us on the air every day, right? Neither one of them can drive a trailer behind a truck. And our trailer, if you've seen it, it's the traveling locker room. We use it at Lambeau Field, and if you were down at Nooner Day, you saw it. If you were at Summerfest, you've seen it with Drew and KB. It's an old race hauler. Yeah. That's what it is. It's an old race hauler, right? And so we had it refurbished with Ken Brewer and the guys. Brewer Contracting did a killer job with this thing. It's been a big hit. Listeners love it, right? Mm-hmm. Ain't nobody in the building who can move it except me.
That's a nice responsibility that you
have.
It's an important duty.
So here's what I learned, okay? Getting it into AmFam Field was easy. Putting it between 2 pavilions, 6 and 7, was not.
Okay.
But I did it without a scratch.
Yep.
Pulling the trailer out of Summerfest for Nooner Day on Wednesday, I did this Tuesday, right? That was easy, okay? Doing it, but taking the trailer back in Thursday, when Summerfest is going into week 2, is a whole different animal. A whole different animal. And Hunter and myself, we were able to do it. See, when they first put it in Summerfest, right? I went and hired a professional guy, my buddy Dan, to do it.
Okay.
And Drew and KB and Hunter were like, wow, this is cool. It only took him about 20 minutes to do it. Boom, boom, and he's done.
Yeah, in and out.
I said, fellas, it ain't going to happen with me. But I'm not boat guy. You can ask anybody here, and I can back up a trailer with the best of them. Never in my wildest dreams, when I was on that small John Deere, and I was backing hay wagons up, did I ever think? Never in my wildest dreams, when I used a manure spreader, piled it with wood to heat the wood stove, so I would have enough money to buy a motorcycle, did I ever think that it would come full circle? And it's come full circle this week. And you know
the trailer was safely parked?
Trailer is safely parked. There's no damages. There's nothing. Everybody's good. But, man, if you don't do this on a regular basis, it wears your ass out.
Yeah.
Do I sound like I'm whining? No, I'm not.
It's just we're kind of in that period right now.
Yeah, it's a few minutes. Each and every week on this show, we have some fantastic sponsors. And one of those we love to highlight is our friends at Bunzel's right here.
Yeah. Yeah, and, it's like we were just talking, how was it just Memorial Day? How was it already the 4th of July?
Father's Day.
Father's Day was in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's always grilling season in Wisconsin. So it's nice to have partners like Bunzel's that, you can run in there, grab a couple things for the weekend, grab a couple things for dinner that night.
I guarantee you that there were people at Nooner Day, because there was a lot of people grilling around us as we did the show. I guarantee you there was a lot of people who had some Bunzels on their grills that day.
Yeah. And, it's easy to get there. They've got so many options, especially when you talk about, tailgating for Brewers games or
just in the backyard.
It's
Should we bring on Noah from Bunzels? Noah, yes. Welcome to the show, buddy. How are you?
Good. Good morning, gentlemen. Thanks for having me.
All right. So, first of all, I've got to say thank you. I got to say thank you because of all the stuff you supplied us with through Eric in celebration of taping, of doing show number 150 of Tailgate Talk. What you supplied us with was outstanding. Mrs. Red Hot has already been in the store to get more brats since then. You rocked it, my friend. Thank you so much. You went over and above. We appreciate it.
Good morning. Yeah, we like to do that for everybody.
Yeah, it was. I think the variety was just exactly what we needed. We had a little bit of snack. We had some some hot sticks for during the show, so we were kind of munching on those while we were actually recording. And then a nice little care package for the co-hosts of a couple honey mustard cheddar brats, which, I don't know how they're just so good.
Those I think you need to rename to the Drew Olson honey mustard cheddar brats.
Yeah.
Because
I think we'll work on that.
You can work on that? See, we can make that
We can work on that.
Okay.
And then
we have about 29 different varieties and flavors made in-house that we can try out. Don't just jump on the honey mustard cheddars. They're my personal favorite.
I was just going to ask you that. Which one is your favorite?
Well, not only what is your favorite, what is the most popular one through Bunzels?
I'd say it's our traditional German bratwurst.
Really?
Okay. Cheddar is a close second.
Yeah.
Third, I'd say, is a mix between the Hungarian and the Triple X Hot Hungarian.
Ooh, interesting.
Is it just me, Noah, or does it seem like the hot stuff, has it always been there, or does it seem like in the last, 10 years or so, eating things that are hot or putting hot things into bratwurst and other things like that seems to be the cool thing to do?
It's always been there, but it is cooler now than it's ever been. I think if you walk down our hot sauce aisle and see the hundreds of different varieties of hot sauces, it could tell you that we're right on trend.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that we don't really talk about much, but Bunzel's is really kind of a full-service convenience store as well, because there is an entire aisle of your barbecue sauces, your hot sauces, some of your produce and things like that you guys have, onions and potatoes and, some of those varieties. So really it kind of turns into a one-stop shop, which I don't think most people think about, and maybe we should do, a little more on some of those things. But really the highlight for us is always, we're guys. We're going in, we're going to get some meat.
Yep, the chicken wings.
Chicken wings as well.
Chops.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say Bill does a great job with our produce. We have a full line of produce, fresh fruit, fresh vegetables, fresh dairy. We've got a whole cheese wall, and I do think people are catching on to that fact.
Yeah.
So we were talking about, a couple of weeks ago that many have gone from, the charcoal, they've gone into, now the flat top seems to be the whole rage, with smash burgers and things like that. But I told the guys a story about how my wife and I were at a Brewer game, and we have gone to a flat top, and we had a little whiff of a grill with charcoal. And 4 days later, guess what I'm doing? I'm buying a charcoal grill. So I have multiples now. So I ask you, Noah, a person that is in this business, a person that sells grill items, food and all the accoutrements that go with it. So what are you? Are you a gas guy? Are you a charcoal guy? You're a flat top guy? What kind of guy are you?
Oh, I'm a charcoal guy through and through. I think working in a meat market, like you said, it's free advertising. People get the smell of that charcoal and they want to come in and buy some steaks and burgers. I think you need to be a little more careful how you work with the heat on charcoal. You don't have the same window or ability to change the temperature like you do on a gas grill. But I also think the flavor makes up for that.
It's funny you say that because last Sunday I grew up where we would go to the local VFW, Eric, or the Rod and Gun Club would have a chicken queue, right?
Yeah.
So I went and got some chicken quarters, and I threw them on the charcoal grill. Low, slow heat. And it was funny because my mother-in-law was in town, Noah, and she's like, "Are we going to eat soon?" And, it took 2 hours, and it came out, used the right seasonings on them. It was delicious. It was delicious. And I just, you can't replicate that on a flat top.
No.
You can't do that on a gas grill. I mean, you can try, but it's not the same, is it?
No, it's not, and I agree. You bring up a great point with this low and slow and seasoning. At Bunzel's, we do offer rotisseries. We have chicken rotisserie and full pig roast rotisseries that you can rent. They all come pre-seasoned on the pole with the rotisserie. You just add the charcoal and light it up, and you can sit back and have a beer and spend time with family and friends. And that's really what the waiting for the food is all about, right?
Yeah, I think that's something you gotta take into consideration. You see all these barbecue pit masters that are doing briskets overnight, and it's 12 hours or however long it ends up being. I think that's where I run into an issue with that, where I'm like, you know what, I could just fire up the gas grill and I can have brats done in 12 minutes. But when you take that time to do that, and you do have a brisket or something that's on the smoker, and you get your temps regulated and everything, there's just something really special about that, and being able to enjoy that, and then you usually get a couple meals out of it. So my question for you is, if you do something low and slow for a long time, do you like to do briskets? Do you like to do roasts, or is there something that you have as a favorite when you look at something that's a little bit longer on the grill?
Yeah, I've got two things. The first one you brought up is the brisket. Personally, I don't think there's a better low and slow cut of meat.
Okay.
Number two is country-style ribs.
Now you're talking. Now you're talking. I grew up on those, Noah. I know what you're talking about. Yes. Yes.
The ribs are great. The messy bone-in ribs, the baby backs, the spare ribs are wonderful. But if you're going low and slow, you want a nice marinated, dry rubbed, everything country-style rib.
Noah's with us from Bunzel's here on Tailgate Talk. Great sponsor of the program, and we appreciate all their support. So, let's stay there for just a minute. Have you had people come into the store who are, they're good at their meat game. They're good at their brisket game or their rib game, and they're looking for a better cut of meat. Those must be fun conversations to have with those type of people.
It's good, and it's amazing how much we can learn from each other. We give tips and we get tips. It's really nice to talk to the customers and help them decide what they're looking for. And anything they're looking for, if we don't have it, we can get it. You can buy your brisket. We'll trim it up for you. You can buy your tenderloin. We can trim that up for you. And as we're working on your meat, we can have a discussion and see who's the better pit master.
I love that.
Which is always great.
That's always great. Yeah. So then what happens next is then the phones come out, and then they show the trophies or they show the medals or things like that, right? It becomes bragging rights. I mean,
absolutely.
Those are cool conversations to have. Noah, again, is with us from Bunzel's. So I'm assuming that the person that came up with the monthly meal deal or meat deal is still with the company, because it is such a great deal. I'm thinking maybe someone said, it's a great idea, but you got to go because you're going to cost us too much money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, talking about high inflation, it only goes up 1 penny every year.
Right, exactly.
So right now the monthly meat deal is $20.24. Next year, $20.25. I don't think you can beat that.
No, it's fantastic. So as we roll into a new month, what is up for the month of July?
All right, that I don't have in front of me, guys.
That's all right. It's always a secret,
Eric, it's a secret.
It is always a secret.
You have to go to the website and get it right.
Stay tuned to our social media pages.
Okay.
We have 2-day specials in every department: the bakery, the deli, the meat department, and the cheese department. And only through social media you can get access to these 2-day specials.
All right, no, real quick, I was going to ask you, and we're kind of running out of time in this segment. So I want to ask you this. I know Eric mentioned things like Memorial Day and Father's Day and 4th of July, and we'll get into Labor Day later on as we get into September towards the end of summer. Is there one holiday specifically that you guys go, okay, get ready, bring in the extra help because we know it's going to be a busy weekend?
Well, aside from the holiday weekends in winter, I'd say it's going to be Memorial Day, that first big kickoff. Everybody wants to come out and grill and get back in the game, and we're all hands on deck.
One thing, too, Noah, and I want to close with this, is that you guys are more than just, my term, not yours, but a meat market. I mean, you guys are you can literally come in and you can get everything you need for that weekend event. Plus, if you're going to go bigger, right? If you have an event or you need something like that, you guys are there. I mean, you help people in every step of the way, don't you?
We do. We help them whether they're coming in for a burger patty, whether they're coming in for a graduation party of 100 people, whether they're coming in for a wedding of 400 people. We'll be able to help them over the counter. We also do full-service catering, which a lot more people are looking for these days. But it's nice to be able to come in, one-stop shop, meet the owner, meet all the people that are here putting work in, and it's just something you don't get much anymore.
And you guys are also, we'll just highlight this here quick, you guys are conveniently located. You're right off of, I believe it's 85th and Burleigh. Is that what it is?
Well, we moved. We're on 90th and Burleigh.
90th and Burleigh. I always think that it's right there still.
College.
Yeah.
There you go.
So
85th
if you...
and Burleigh is where we make all the homemade hot sticks. We make all the beef jerky. We make all the brats on 85th, but we sell them here in the store on 90th and Burleigh.
And like you said, for anybody, the website is really easy. It's just bunzels.com, Bunzels. And then you said that also just to stay tuned, like the Facebook page, keep up to date with all the specials. I imagine you guys will have some good deals here coming up, rolling into the 4th of July as well.
Absolutely. Come on in and get your 4th of July grilling needs.
Noah, thank you so much for, first and foremost, sponsoring the show, but what you and the people at Bunzels do every day. We love it, and we wish you much success this weekend and then as we roll it through the summer months as well. Okay, bud?
All right, guys. Thank you very much.
All right, there you go. That's Noah from our friends at Bunzels Eat. Hanging up the phone over there.
It's always fun.
It's great. What a great guy. What a great place. I mean, and again, we talk about it all the time on this show. Someone at Nooner Day, they brought, when Noah was talking about brisket, they brought breakfast, I was going to say breakfast tacos. They weren't tacos. They were, breakfast burritos. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. It's been a long week, as I said. Breakfast burritos, but they were breakfast brisket.
Oh my God.
Burritos.
It just sounds so good.
So again, when the game concluded on Wednesday, the game went extra innings, as you know,
innings,
right?
Yep.
So in the Nooner Day section, there was a group that brought their smoker. And they had smoked brisket and some stuff. And they said to Smurf, they go, hey, we're gonna want to eat. You're gonna have the ribs ready. He goes, no doubt. And he left early. He went in the parking lot and he listened to the last 2 or 3 innings of the game, and then whoever wanted it from the crew came out.
Wow.
And he had the smoker set up, and they were smoking some ribs, just putting the finishing touches on it. And it was a great day, and it was a lot of fun, and summer months, man, we eat a lot of meat, don't we?
Yeah, but that's okay.
Well, and so are you one of those guys when you're at one of those things that, and you have we had my son's father-in-law, it was his 70th birthday, and they grilled out and they had all kinds of stuff there. But there was part of me that didn't eat a lot of the potato salad. All I wanted was the meat.
Yeah.
And what they do is that they do a lot of shish kebabs. I've told you they're from Hungary, or not Hungary, from Turkey and Iran. That's their home countries where they're from, and so they do a lot of things over an open flame, but they do it on the shish kebabs, long.
Yeah.
Not what you would think that you and I would have. These
Right.
are like long knives.
Yeah.
The way they do their stuff. But the seasonings and stuff that they put on it, we had the chicken, we had the lamb, we had the steak, the beef steak. It was amazing. Amazing. I know. I'm the same way. All right, let's do this. We have some bad news, too. Wags is not going to be on the show today. Here's the deal. It's really cool. It's $200, but you get to the game early. You get to hang with our boy Wags. You eat wings in a private setup. You have fantastic seats for the game. And not only that, but then beforehand, Wags gives you a tour of the whole stadium. Now, if you've not seen Wisconsin Brewing Stadium, it's amazing. So, you've probably driven by it a bunch of times in the Oconomowoc area.
It's hard to miss.
You can't miss it. No, there's no doubt about it. But so Wings with Wags, that's they've got a couple of more days they're going to do this during the season. So .com is the website to go to for that. And the other thing, too, we want to mention that it's been a long running. First it was a bit, and then it got semi-serious. And then I got involved, because when I get involved, what happens? It gets done eventually.
Yeah.
Eventually it does. Well, for the most part, it does. But we talked to the folks at the Dock Hounds, and Zabe had never seen the movie Major League.
Which seems impossible.
Yes.
Being a sports guy.
Yeah, I know. He's never seen the movie Major League. Here, this is how far back I go back in this business, okay? Does that make sense? How far I go back in this business?
Yep.
I said back twice. I didn't mean to. Been a long week.
Recurring theme.
Yeah, I know. Is that so when they filmed that movie, a good chunk of that movie, for those who don't know, it was filmed at the Old County Stadium.
Correct.
But it was supposed to be the home stadium for the Cleveland Indians.
Right.
So they had to change everything inside, for the most part, signage, different things, angles that they shot, so that it appeared it was at the stadium in Cleveland, right?
Why was that?
I don't know why they didn't shoot it. I don't think Jacobs Field was built yet. It's not even Jacobs Field anymore, but that's what I always. But the old Cleveland Stadium, where the Browns play, the Indians play, that type of stuff, it was a dump. It was a pit.
Yeah.
And so maybe that had something to do with it. Not that County Stadium was that much better.
Yeah, it wasn't like the. I don't know.
But what I remember about when they shot that movie was that they solicited people from around the state to go to be extras, because they had to have fans that were there. And I remember doing radio shows saying, hey, they're shooting this movie. It's called Major League.
Right.
Corbin Burnson, who was hot with L.A. Law at the time, he was going to be in it. Wesley Snipes was going to be in it. Some guy we knew that was Martin Sheen's son. Charlie Sheen was in it. Didn't know anything about him. Hey, by the way, former Brewer Pete Vukovich is going to be in this movie.
Yeah.
And so then, but they said, hey, we need extras. So if you want to be in the movie, maybe a chance to see yourself, go be an extra in the movie. And so that's what I remember first and foremost about it. But it's for those of us who are old enough who went to County Stadium. I don't know if you ever had the chance.
I did.
Okay. Yeah. It's cool because we don't lose a piece of our childhood. It's not there anymore. I mean, the home plate's at Healthcare Field, but that's it. But that was a place where my dad went back in the 50s to see the Braves play. And then I not grew up, but I mean, my love for baseball, my love for what I do for the last 35 plus years was all started by going to County Stadium. Yeah. So when I see the movie, for me, it's just, it's a part of my.
Takes you back.
Yeah. Part of my childhood.
Yeah.
One of my favorite radio shows that I've ever done in my career was, of all people, myself and Aaron Sims, who's the voice of the Admirals. Aaron and I digress a little bit, but Aaron and I used to work together in a previous life and different radio station and did a daily show, believe it or not. So our show originated from the final game at County Stadium. We got to broadcast live that day. And so they had media all over. Two things I remember about that. One was that the media auxiliary area, after we did our show, we were in center field. And if you were there for the final game, as I was, you remember that they had that point where they brought out old Brewers and they ran out to their positions they played. And Gorman Thomas was right in front of us.
Okay.
Now, if you saw Gorman Thomas play in his heyday, when he played center field, he kind of stood out there and kind of had this swag to him.
Yeah.
He had his glove on his right hip, right?
Okay.
And so when he ran out, he assumed the position that he played years before. And he was probably 25 yards in front of me, if that. And it looked like at that moment that he was wiping a tear from his eyes. And so the following year, I was at a charity golf tournament, and I was, oddly enough, paired up with Gorman Thomas. And I said to Gorman, I said, hey, man, I got to ask you a question. I said, that last year, that final day at County Stadium, he looked at me and goes, Timmy, I cried like a baby. And I said, I wanted to ask you that because you were right in front of me. Mm-hmm. And I said, I thought it was so cool. It was like you were 28 years old again playing center field for the Brewers. And I said, it looked like you were wiping a tear out of your eye. And he goes, I was, brother. He said, wow. I was. That is the one memory. The other one is this. So when the game is done, they're on the PA thanking fans. And then they're telling them, don't take anything from the stadium.
Because, of course, that's what everybody's thinking.
Dude, people were taking down signs. They were doing stuff. We were in the outfield. We were, like, kicking pieces of concrete to take a chunk with us. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Wow.
Matter of fact, if you go into my office, which you've been in, on my desk, it framed up is the picture, or not the picture, but the ticket from the final game at County Stadium.
Yeah, it's either that or a piece of the frozen tundra.
I don't have
that. Wisconsin
right.
sports fans have.
Yes. So anyway, but yeah, it's going to be Major League Movie Night, July 9th. So it's coming fast.
Yeah.
2 weeks from Tuesday, or a week from Tuesday, at the Dock House. Here's the deal, too. They got really, really cool seats. $9.70 for I think they're club box seats, which are really close to the field. So anyway, $9.73. It's a lot more than that if you're out there for a regular game. These are sweet seats. But again, go to dockhounds.com, DOCKHOUNDS.com, and you can find Wings for Wags there, and also you can find the link to Zabe's movie night coming up on July 9th. So it's gonna be
and they've got a bunch of other specials. Yeah. They've got some other highlighted dates throughout the rest of the season. So a bunch of stuff there.
So I have a question for you on the show today, which we're heading into the final stretches of. Have we talked about anything outdoor related?
No, but what we did talk about was the whole premise of the show. I just wanted to
tailgate. Check. Okay, yes, tailgate. So this has been heavy on the tailgate side today.
It's which it's kind of the hums and drums of the outdoor season. I mean, of course, we're all getting out and we're going fishing and doing some of that stuff, which, I want to have my buddy John Resnick on, who's probably one of the best anglers that I know.
By the way, I'm working on a fishing guy.
Are you? Okay,
I know this isn't great. This isn't great radio. Well, I'm working on it.
Yeah,
I am working. I had some conversations this week.
Okay,
with a couple of guys I know that actually do what that we attempt to do every week.
Yeah,
they have their own outdoor show. They've won awards for their outdoors work.
We will one day.
Someday. We have to. First of all, we have to enter something. That's a good place to start. Once we drop Paul Wagner's name, boom, plaques, awards, man. We're going to be on stage.
Banners.
We might be like Garbedian,
Yeah.
Look out, Chuck. Here we come. But one of those guys has said that if the schedule works when we do the show, he's more than happy to hop on with us.
Nice.
And he fishes all over the state of Wisconsin.
Yeah.
So he'll be able to tell us what's hot, what's not, what's a good place to go, that type of stuff.
Well, and it was just last weekend that I was going to go out and I was going to go fishing with my buddy Rez, who he's a clam pro guy, and he's like, I'd be happy to do the show under one condition.
Uh-oh.
And I'm like, all right. He said, we have to go fishing first. Because we want to have something to talk about.
Yeah. Okay.
So we've been talking about this June 22nd date for forever, and we get to Friday the 21st, and the wife and I are out, and we're going back. Me and Rez are going back and forth, and he's like, "Yeah, I can do rain, but I'm not doing lightning." So we didn't end up getting out. So we're gonna just have to push that back a couple weeks, and we'll eventually get out. Hopefully, all of this rain eventually slows down. But I will say this, the crops around my place in Oconomowoc, it's always the knee high by the 4th of July for corn. I bet 2 weeks ago the corn was knee high already.
So
it has been insane.
So last week I was on vacation, And my wife and I took the RV in a big run, and we went down to Nashville and some other places. But we drove from Nashville to St. Louis to see some family.
Okay.
And so we went through, what did we go through? We went through, obviously, Tennessee. We went through some of Kentucky. We went through some of Illinois, went through some of Indiana, and then Missouri, obviously, being in St. Louis.
Yeah.
Kentucky, the corn in Kentucky was almost, and I'm 6'2",
Yeah.
almost shoulder high. And then when we got into Indiana and Illinois, even into Missouri, it looked normal. In some places, not as normal.
Yeah.
It always fascinates me about when you drive like that. It's one of the reasons why we love the RV life. If, we don't have life, but when we use it, is that you can. I know it's an expensive thing to see sit when you're not using it.
Yeah.
It's like that boat.
Right.
I got to put it in the water.
Yeah.
I do, because that's what my monthly payment says I need to do.
Yeah.
So anyway, it just amazes me about how some pockets get, and some don't. And when you have here with the rain we've had, and then the heat we've had,
Yeah.
that's like fuel to that stuff.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. So it should be a bumper crop.
Yeah, and I guess, we don't really ever think, we kind of just think inside our box of the state of Wisconsin, and just our rule of thumb that we have and that we kind of live by is that knee high by the 4th of July. But, that's because it doesn't warm up here until May. So our growing season is much shorter, and that's kind of our barometer for how are the crops doing. But you start to get farther south, and boy, they could have been growing for 3 months already.